But moving on to one that I know you truly are excited about, Bethesda,
Oh my gosh.
which for those listening, that's the only one that we got into this year for
It is.
E3. Trey will be going to Xbox FanFest, or no, he's going to the press conference. He's going to one of the two, but not both.
He's going to the press conference for Microsoft.
Okay, so Trey will be going to the conference, which will be cool. But the four of us, Trey, Tim, myself, and Case or Moonpickle, will be going to the Bethesda showcase, which last year was probably the highlight of E3, other than meeting Kojima. But it was
I'm
like
so
the
mad I
highlight
didn't
as
stay
far
for
as yeah. Tim actually waited in line with us for a little bit, and me and Trey got in, and Tim left, unfortunately.
We
They
were
had
exhausted.
In Tim's defense, he had a really long 2 days with Microsoft. Granted, they
Right.
were awesome days for sure.
They were phenomenal days.
But like Bethesda set up this whole theme park. They had an open bar. You could get caricatures. They had turkey legs. Just a super cool setup. So I'm hoping that they're doing it in the same place this year. So I'm hoping they kind of
good.
have a similar theme to it, or a similar way of going about it. So we'll actually be going into the theater, watching the presentation, and then we exit out into the actual event, like the
Wait, is
after
that how that
party.
works? Are you sure?
Correct.
Okay.
That's how it worked last year. To where me and Trey got into the overflow line. So we weren't invited to the press conference, but when they had extra room,
So we actually get to go in and do all the fun stuff
Correct.
and be part of that, right?
yep. So we'll be able to watch the show. Then we get to do the fun stuff after. Which from the invitation last year, their invitation was theme park themed. So that's kind of how they did the party. This year, it looks
Right.
like it's almost like Oscar party kind of theme.
Right, like
So
a formal, yeah.
So I'm not sure what they're gonna do, but I'm excited.
I am.
I mean,
love
you saw the
Bethesda so
pictures
much.
last year and the videos. It was awesome.
Well, so here was the annoying thing about last year's. Almost every year Bethesda has a show, and it's always really good.
Yeah.
Right? Then last year, me and Moonpit was like, okay, whatever, we'll watch the show at the hotel room because we're exhausted, we're tired, we don't want to wait because we didn't know if anything was even going to happen. We stayed in that line for like an hour and nothing even moved, right? So we went there, and all it was a bunch of like trailers back to back. There was
Yeah,
no say. It was
correct.
it was a terrible presentation for the viewer at home, if you ask me. But to be there was a completely different story.
Correct. Yeah, because we were standing next to like was it Todd Howard? I forget. Like we were standing next to like some of the actual guys at Bethesda. Like it was just cool. You got to mingle with them. But anyways, I'm getting distracted.
Right.
We're gonna, just to throw it out there, we're gonna be there, so we'll definitely show you guys some cool stuff when we get back. But as far as the first announcement, and I'll just kind of go off with I guess a hopeful one. I want to see this rumored sci-fi RPG that I guess has been codenamed Starfield.
Starfield, correct.
So, and I know nothing about it, but I'm definitely about sci-fi. And if Bethesda's doing it, I'm on board. I would love to see what they have in store.
Right.
Do you know anything?
No.
Okay.
I know that it is very in the hush hush if it's an actual thing.
Okay.
And like you said, if it's Bethesda, I mean, I don't know anything that Bethesda's touched that's been garbage. Like they are one of those. They're kind of like BioWare almost, where anything they touch tends to be pretty darn golden.
Okay.
So I would assume that if it is, and that's if it's produced directly through them, of course, right?
Right.
If it is made through them, I can't wait to see it, and I hope that they announce that. I think they'll have a new IP. I think that was the worst part about last year's is there was no new IP. It was all rehashes.
Correct.
There's stuff. So I think they'll announce a new IP, and I think that's it, and they'll go into details about it. I think we will get that game.
I hope so, man. Like that would be I don't know, that'd be pretty cool in my opinion, just to see a new IP from them. Hold on real quick, Tim.
Yep, you're good.
Gotta take care of something.
Take care of no business.
There we go. Cool. That's taken care of. Anyways, yeah, my the thing that I want to see is definitely Starfield. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, go into what you would like to see.
Okay, number one, hands down, what I want to see more of is Fallout 76. I watched that teaser, or that their stupid. I watched
Correct.
that teaser several times. I was on their Twitch stream for I don't know how long, waiting for that bobblehead to do something other than sit there,
Right.
because they trolled us all. But that's funny. It's okay. If Fallout 76 is what people are saying it's going to be, some people are like, I don't want that. I can't wait for it. I think that's a Fallout game that I can only dream of. I would love to have a survival online Fallout game. A Fallout game that is much like DayZ would be great.
That's
It's perfect.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest thing that has me excited is the fact that they've said, or the rumors are that it plays like DayZ,
Right.
which
Now-
that would be super cool because they've never done
Yeah.
a multiplayer Fallout, correct? Nothing to where you can play with anyone else.
ESO was their first attempt at a multiplayer game in terms of like the big two worlds in Elder Scrolls and Fallout. And it's an MMO, and it's okay. It's not bad. I mean, it
Sure.
does succeed in where it succeeds at. But I think what makes this great is it's not, from my understanding, it's not going to be an MMO. It's an online survival RPG,
Okay.
which I love Fallout. I love the series. It's easily one of my favorite series of all time. And it's going to be different, and I know it's going to be different, and it's not going to be Fallout 5, right? This isn't Fallout 5. It's not supposed to be Fallout 5. But it would be so neat if they can do it right. Like, if the Fallout world is perfect for a survival-esque game. You have ghouls, you have super mutants, you have people who are just trying to survive. It is the perfect environment for that to happen.
Absolutely. Now, what do you? Because I know you being a big Fallout fan. What do you know about where this falls, like in the timeline, based off of like what you've seen from the trailer?
So and this is just kind of bear with me here because I'll probably get my numbers mixed up here, and I got to remember exactly how this works. I believe every Fallout game tends to take place. It's like a couple hundred years in the future, right?
A couple hundred years.
A couple hundred years
from now
in the future. From the war of 20. Oh, it was like 2076. I don't know the exact date.
Okay.
But there's a war in we'll say 2050, and anybody can correct me. I'm not saying that's the exact date. I know it's not.
Sure.
But example, every Fallout game takes place a couple hundred years after that.
Okay.
After everything, the dust is settled. This Fallout 76 takes place apparently about 20 years
after
the war.
Okay.
So it takes place well before Fallout, all the Fallouts, including the first Fallout, takes place well before all of the Fallout games. It's like right after the nuclear apocalypse happened.
Interesting.
So you're going out because Fallout 76, the vault itself is actually talked about here and there in other Fallout games. It's very nonchalant. It's not like you would definitely just miss it and forget it and not care about it. Right. It's just one of those things. But it was more of a control vault, and it was meant to be open relatively soon after, because that's why they think it's only 20 years, because it's meant to be open like 20 years after the bombs, the drops, the apocalypse thing, right? Now, a couple of teasers people were looking at, you can actually see the year marking on it, and it actually looks like it's going to be 25 years after it, not 20. So, I mean, however that ties in, who cares? But it'll be very interesting because it'll be a very new world for everybody. For everybody who plays the game, it'll be a very new world to see it 20 years after it versus 200 or so.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, things haven't mutated as much. You're going to see things that aren't as... Yeah, it's not going to be as... I don't even know what word I'm looking for, but it's not going to be as mutated as the previous...
It's going to be a lot more chaotic.
Oh, yeah, because there's going to be more... things. There's going to be
a lot more radiation everywhere still.
Yeah.
You're going to have things that haven't died off that just came there. I mean, people are going to be... I mean, I can only assume that people are going to be scared, because there's just not very long. So it's going to be really nuts. And it takes place close to Fallout 3's realm. It takes place in like the West Virginia area, from my understanding as well.
Right.
So that'll take more homage to like where Fallout 3 took place.
Sure. And it's supposed to take place in DC as well.
So that's the thing. Like Fallout 76 was in that that DC West Virginia area. There wasn't an exact location on it. It was never. You couldn't go to. From my understanding, you could not go to Fallout 76 in Fallout 3. Maybe I'm wrong. Again,
okay.
Cool. We can look it up. But I don't believe you could go. I'm pretty sure you could not go to that vault. So I don't believe it's actually in DC. It's just in the West Virginia area.
Okay. Now, other than it being Daisy-like, and we know it might take place or Daisy-like, and it might take place in the DC area. We really don't have much else other than
No, I
Daisy
mean,
to go
they
off of.
literally said nothing. Everything we are saying, everything we've read is 100% rumor. Bethesda gave us that teaser. That's it. Until E3. So this could be completely different than what we think it'll be. It could just be an off-brand game like what Fallout New Vegas was, to where it's just an RPG, a single-player RPG, and there might not be online. I mean, everyone's speculating online because they think that it's time for that, but that doesn't mean they'll go that direction. And I'd be okay if they don't. Like, just give me more Fallout.
Yep. I think it's nice that we're kind of getting a. I like that it's actually made by. Because New Vegas was made by Obsidian, correct? Is that who it was?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
So I like that this is still made by Bethesda, but it's not following the standard 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of format.
Right. And
but they're trying something new, which I'm excited about. Because I feel like too many times when someone tries to do something new, they let another studio develop it. So I'm excited to see what they do with this, because I've never been a big Fallout person, but if it plays like what we're hearing about, or what we're hearing it's supposed to play like, I'm definitely for it.
It's just one of those things, like, it could fail completely. It could.
Oh, yeah.
100%. This could fail. But at least they're trying, and that's all I ask. At least they're giving it a shot.
Yep. On mine, let's see. What did I have next? We'll go ahead and skip Rage 2 if that's okay with you.
Oh, why? It's going to be so great and stuff and things. And yeah.
Well, the only reason I say that because it already got announced. So it's not like
it
it's
got
a
announced, and
prediction.
I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Okay, well, maybe we'll talk about it. What are you not excited for, Tim?
It looks too... Okay, it looks... There's a word for it. There's a game that it looks like. It looks identical to it. What game was it? It just...
Oh,
You know what I'm thinking of, though. You know exactly what I'm thinking. It doesn't look very appealing to me. It looks like they took what Rage was, and they're kind of trying to, like, Borderlands it up. Is that a good way to say that?
They took what Rage was, and then they made a sequel from it.
Right, and then they well, but they're doing it like it's like they're trying to be funny with it. They're doing it in like a.
Oh, I see what you're saying. They're trying to add. Okay, I see what you're saying.
They're trying to add this comedy to it, and I never thought Rage was a funny game. I mean, I'm not saying it was a crazy game, sure, but I never took it as a haha funny game.
That's
so
fair.
I feel like they're taking Rage and turning it into something it was never meant to be, just to appease people. Because I think it's like they find the success of Borderlands really funny, how successful it is with all this like raunchy comedy and stuff like that, and they're going to try to add that to their game to kind of make their own Borderlands game. That's how I feel.
Okay, I mean, and that's fair. I never played Rage. I mean, I've seen how it plays, but it's nothing that I've really been excited about. One that I do hope we see is a Doom sequel. Just because of how successful Doom was when they finally brought it to current gen consoles. I mean, it was really successful enough that they brought it to the Switch, right?
Yep, it came to the Switch.
Okay, and VR as well. So I feel like it was successful enough that I'm sure it warrants the sequel.
Yep. I'd be okay with it. I mean, I love Doom. Don't get me wrong. I think Doom's a phenomenal game. Like, I absolutely love Doom. I don't know if it's time for a sequel for it in terms of Bethesda's eyes. Bethesda is a drawn-out company. Like, they will make you wait for a game. Now, that doesn't mean we won't get a Doom... So what I'm saying is I don't think we get Doom 2.
Okay.
That's not to say we don't get a Doom spin-off and or a Doom expansion of some sort.
Okay. So
but I don't think we get Doom 2.
Okay, so you could see, since it's still recent, you could just see them expanding on the current game then.
Correct.
Okay.
I see them expanding on it or doing kind of like a spin-off title of it of some sort, but I don't think we get Doom 2.
Sure, and that's fair. I'll go with that. What about you?
This is a long shot. It's a very long shot. Yeah, exactly. I really hope even if it's just a tease, even if it's just literally they put up Elder Scrolls 6 and goes away. I don't care. Like, that's fine by me. I just want something.
It's going to be the speaker up there talking about a completely different game. It's just going to like flash on number 6. It's like,
right. That's all I need. Right. That's all I need. That's perfect. Thank you.
You're gonna start freaking out because you're gonna be the only one that sees it no one else is gonna see it, and Tim's gonna be like a conspiracy theorist going around like
Nobody
"You saw
caught it
didn't
on
you?"
video. Nobody. It's literally nowhere. I'm the only one who saw it.
It doesn't pick up on like the post like the uploads on YouTube or anything.
Right. It's like no, it was there. It was there. Like have you ever
Tim's
seen
like
the meme
rocking in his
Charlie
chair.
with Charlie Day and the meme of Charlie Day and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he has like this giant board behind him, and he like looks all freaked out. Like that will be me. I will see that, and I will be trying to convince everybody this is real and it happened.
So I know that, like you mentioned, it is a long shot, but where do you think it would take place?
Where do I think it'll take place? I think it'll be a whole new continent. I think it'll be a whole new place.
Oh, so nothing that we've even... Because I'm not super into Elder Scrolls, but I know enough that there are places on the map that the player's never been to. Is that right?
Kind of, sort of. Like, so, you had Tamriel, you had Skyrim, you had Morrowind. If it had to take place anywhere that we've already seen, I'd love for it to take place in Tamriel again. I loved Oblivion. Like, it kills me because technically, theoretically, we can never have Oblivion gates anymore due to how Oblivion ended. But Oblivion was phenomenal. But there are areas we've seen because of ESO and ESO. I just hope we don't get more ESO crap. Like again, ESO is good for what it is, and there is a player base behind it, and good for them. I could not get into it. I tried. I spent a lot of time in that game. I couldn't do it. It just bored me. So I don't want to keep seeing ESO stuff every year. ESO. I want to see the next Elder Scrolls game, and I hope if they do it, new console, new everything. New continent, like just new, not new world necessarily, just new continent.
Yeah.
I want to see, and I want it to be freaking huge. I want this map to be ginormous. Like
Sure. What do you think about what Rachel's saying? The Khajiit homeland.
The Khajiit homeland. That would be interesting. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It could be wherever. If it's Elder Scrolls 6, I don't care where it's at.
Right.
That's great for me. That would be phenomenal. It would be very interesting to be in the Khajiit homeland, just because a lot of things would be stolen from my person.
A lot of things would be stolen from your person?
There'd just be a lot of Khajiit just running around trying to steal things from me.
Is that
Did you not know? That's their ability, their stealth. That's what they do. They have high rankings in pickpocketing.
Okay.
Are you trying to make me the bad guy here, Travis?
I don't know. I wasn't sure where that was going. I'm like, wow, Tim, that's
what they do. That's the Khajiit.
Okay.
And there would be merchants everywhere that stole from me. They would be selling. I would have to go to an island and buy what they stole from me. That's what that game would represent.
Like, come on, this looks really familiar. Guess I have to pay $200 gold to get that back.
But it would be funny. I don't care. I just want it. Give it to me. Give me something. I don't care. Give me something that makes me think it's Elder Scrolls 6.
Sure. Do you think we see... So, I'm going to go ahead and say the only new IP that we would see is that Starfield game. So, I don't think I have any other... I'm not going to throw it out there that we'll see any other new IPs. But do you think we will see anything else from Dishonored this year?
Well, maybe. Dishonored 2 was what? 2 years ago? 2 years ago.
Was it really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it wasn't as good as the first. If you ask me, I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as I enjoyed the first. The first one was great. I played the second one and I couldn't even finish it. I don't know what it was about it. I didn't enjoy it as much. So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing another Dishonored game because I'd like to play one again that I enjoyed.
Sure.
It would be fun. I don't know if they're going to go up that tree again. I think if they do a Dishonored 3, I think at that point you're getting into it's being saturated. But this is not a saturating type of game. And with the game only releasing 2 years ago, I think it's too soon for anything Dishonored like.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Maybe we'll see a Brink 2.
I forgot Brink was even a thing. Wait, was that
that was Bethesda? That was Bethesda. That was the worst thing they did. That game, and actually, I can't remember. I don't think it was made by them. It was definitely published by them. And it was the worst game ever.
Yeah, like I remember it being hyped up because that's when I worked at the Huber GameStop.
Yeah,
they were hyping it up to be some big thing, and then it flopped.
It died. Oh yeah, it was not. Yeah, it was bad day.
Do you think we see anything else from Bethesda then? Because my list is run dry.
I hope we do, because really all we really listed off is every title we know except for Starfield, right? Everything else we've talked about, they're already games that we've already seen, right?
Sure.
Now Bethesda's, I guess that's asking a lot. I should take that back. Bethesda is a game studio, not Microsoft, not Sony, right?
Right.
So you can't expect a lot out of them to begin with. So I wouldn't be opposed if we don't. It'd be neat if they had some other little things, but because they're the game developers, they're the game studios, I would be okay if they didn't. I think if they show us Starfield, they show us more Fallout, they show us we're going to see Rage, unfortunately, and they show us an Elder Scrolls something of anything that's just, please, 6 of some sort.
You want another Skyrim port. I can see it in your eyes.
Dude, actually, if you didn't know this, they are porting Skyrim now on Fallout Pip-Boys. So you can play it in Fallout 4 on the Pip-Boy in case you need to. But, jeez, on Pete, Skyrim. You know, it's funny. I make fun of it. I have it on an Xbox. I had it on the PC. I had the VR edition. I have it on Switch. If they made a mobile phone version of it, I'd probably buy it on So, whatever.
I hope that they've milked that dry. Like, I just leave it alone. I know it's a great game. It's never been my thing, but I understand why people enjoy it.
Right. It's the thing. Is that, are they milking it? Sure. But people buy it. Like,
oh, yeah.
Is it really a wrong thing to do to make one of your most successful games everywhere available?
No, because in my opinion, I think that's great because it's accessible at that point.
It's accessible.
You're making sure that nobody that has any sort of console is not able to play your game.
Fallout 4 on Switch. I think that'll be a little thing. I think it'll be a little thing they announced. Okay. I think we see Fallout 4 on Switch. Now, Fallout 4 is a lot. They did talk about how much is in Fallout 4 is a big game, but I could see that.
Well, think about how they're doing Resident Evil 7 on the Switch, where they're doing the cloud stuff.
Exactly. It's really weird to do it, but yes.
Because it's Doom and Wolfenstein those are like the 2 big AAA titles that we got announced for Switch. Is that right?
What is that? Say it again. Doom and Wolfenstein
for the Switch.
Doom's already on Switch.
Sorry, like that's what I was saying. Like they're already on the Switch, right?
Yeah, we have Doom. I believe they have Doom. They have Wolfenstein. They have Skyrim. So the only major Bethesda title that they are missing is Fallout. And maybe they do Fallout 3 instead, which would be really dumb. I'd buy it in a heartbeat, though. I would love to replay Fallout. I like Fallout 3 story better than Fallout 4, so I'd love to go replay it again. But I think it wouldn't surprise me if we get Fallout 4 on Switch.
Yeah, and they've had such success bringing their IPs to the Switch. It would make sense that you might as well make sure it's accessible everywhere. They've been like the Switch's like #1 supporter.
Oh yeah,
as far as like bringing
those
their
are
games.
Big titles.
They're huge.
They're extremely huge titles. It works, and it's on a portable system. Like that's a huge thing.
That's the biggest thing, man. It's on a portable system. That's the biggest thing for sure. Thanks for listening to FAMcast. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/forallmanakind. You can also find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and Spotify, so make sure you follow us there to keep up with the latest episodes.